Hello again. This morning I'm taking advantage. I mean, it's what, about 6:35 in the morning. It's autumn, things are happening later, and I'm standing over a railway line. Oh yes, you do that all the time, I hear you say. But this is not a railway line that I've stood over before, because that lovely station up there is Grange over Sands. That's a beautifully preserved furnace railway station. This is on the line between Carnforth, of brief encounter fame, and Barrow-in-Furness, which is an ugly looking station these days. But this one has been perfectly preserved. It's too far for me to walk from the hotel and back before breakfast. Sorry for the pause there, pressed the wrong button. And even at this distance you can see this information display. I don't think I can zoom in clear enough to read it, but you can see it changing, can't you? I wonder if there's a train due. It would be nice to be able to photograph a train, because I think most of the trains on this line are the new CAF units built in Spain. But anyway, I digress, because over on this side we're looking at the upper reaches of Morecambe Bay, and this may be the only morning, weather-wise, I get the opportunity to watch the sun come up over Morecambe Bay. So I'm going to just go to the other end of the bridge for a minute and have a look at the far end of the bay, and then we'll take a walk down onto the promenade. I might even get to the station, we'll see. Well, here we are. This is a site I didn't get to see last year because we overnighted here, and the tide was well and truly out. Some of you might remember the unfortunate story of those poor Chinese people cockle picking illegally, who drowned in that dreadful accident, and that was a real shame. There's certain things over there, I don't know what that is. I had thought it was Sellafield, but I think that's on the wrong bit of the coast. I will do some research when I get back, and I'll have a look and see if I can find out exactly what it is for you. But I tell you what, I miss this, you know, being able to get up early and come and catch the sunrise. In the summer it's lovely, 5 o'clock in the morning. Now it's later. There are one or two other people about, but it's still very peaceful. And I notice the signal is off. There is a train due. So I think I might just hang around and see if I can film it. It's making its way along to the station now. There it is. What a disappointment. It looks like a lowly old humble class 156. I was hoping for something more modern, but anyway, he's just pulling into the station now. And there's passengers waiting, look at that. We passed that signal box yesterday. I didn't think it was in use, but it certainly is. The signal's in there doing its thing. And we'll join the train again when it's due to leave. Here he comes. What a little train ride that would be, alongside Morecambe Bay. I mean, the Settle and Carlisle is scenic enough, but this is a lovely little line too. Yep, and here he comes. Turn over the other side of the line. And there he goes. And if I just pan into the signal, any moment now he's past the treadle, and the signalman should return that signal to the on position. There we go. The train will go over, I think there's a viaduct there, and we'll take him over to Arnside on the other side of the bay. Anyhow, let's get down on the beach. This is just such a lovely, quiet place. Little birds of all kinds. A little creek there coming out. And you can imagine all this at high tide. Really high tide. Doesn't always come up this far. But this is often covered, especially during the winter. And please, Mr. Sun, come up quickly. Oh, I don't want to be late for breakfast. This is really funny, this. It's only a small place in the grand scheme of things. It's not even on a major road, but Grange over Sands has a promenade. Mind you, wouldn't you like to walk along a promenade like this? It's so quiet, it's so peaceful, apart from me. And once again we have those, I've no idea what they are. But let's see. There on the south side. I thought that was Morecambe perhaps. Don't think, no, it won't be Barrow-in-Furness. I will have to do some more research. But this is lovely. I'm going to take a walk. I might even get to the station. Bear with me. Again, a very noisy geese. Breaks the tranquility of the area. If I try and hold the camera steady, you see the sun. It's reflecting off those windows up there. He's on his way over Morecambe Bay. Ooh, that rhymes. I do like this. Nice little waiting shelter here. And what's that up above? Grange over Sands signal box. It's been refurbished. Mind you, that name board could do with a bit of a paint over. But there you go. Little wading birds seeking the odd little crustacean or two, perhaps. Breakfast served. Now, The sun casts its first rays on Grange over Sand station. And even if you're not a railway enthusiast, you must admit the Furness Railway architecture, it's stunningly beautiful, isn't it? What a lovely restored station. Now this is what I like, and this is why I come out early in the morning. There's even a heron out there looking for his breakfast. Look at that. And he has arrived. Mr. Sun appears over the top of the Pennines and says, "Hello, Morecambe Bay. It's going to be a lovely day. Always welcome." Lovely. Well, I'm up at the station now, and very chilly morning, I must admit. I'm just going to walk up onto the platform. I don't think I'm doing any more harm here, because I actually want to look closer at these canopies and this lamp bracket here. I say Furness Railway, pretty sure this was a Furness Railway creation, but that almost says Midland Railway, doesn't it? I will have to do some research. The first train from here is to Barrow at 7:20. Now look at the buildings on the opposite side. Aren't they lovely? Even the platform lamps have got an old-fashioned touch to them. And I know I'm on CCTV, but I'm not doing any harm. I'm actually giving the place some publicity. This is really nice. On Greenwich Mean Time over there, it says it's 6:10. It is actually 7:10. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And if I just walk over here and get out of the sun, I think that building.
We are sorry to announce that the 0722 Northern service to Manchester Airport has been cancelled. If this delay results in you reaching your destination 15 minutes late, you can claim compensation through our delay repay scheme. Please visit northernrailway.co.uk/delay repay.
Northern Rail at it again. That must be the old goods shed. Good to see it's still intact. And now let's go over the other side of the station. I've no idea what that station is, but station, idiot, building is, but isn't it nice? I don't know what the building material is. Lakeland stone. It's certainly the local material, isn't it? So many of these buildings around here are made of that. The birds don't like me being about. But I really love this station. It's just in a different world. I suppose you could argue the thing that spoiled it is the British Railway's double arrow up there, British Rail. On the other hand, the way they've set it, it really is in keeping. Beautiful. Just beautiful. But then I would say that, wouldn't I? And just tucked down behind the railway station is this lovely little park, complete with noisy duck. And something that I know my friend Andrew Norris would be very interested in. So this is for you, Andrew. This is a little wooden sculpture here of an acorn, and they've got one or two dotted around the park by the looks of it. I'll see if there's any, if I can find any more. Unfortunately, I've got a rather angry sounding goose coming my way, so I'm going to have to get out of here. Although if I keep still, maybe he won't disturb me too much. But he certainly gave me a warning. Keep away. Where's he gone now? There he is. Very nice park, I have to say. But unfortunately, because of my phobia, I ain't going any further in there. Looking at all the feathers around here, this is quite a popular parking place for ducks and geese. And this is the War Memorial. Lovely, isn't it? Let me just stand back. We'll take in the park, look. Some lovely architecture around here. And there's a much better look at the War Memorial. Lovely, just lovely. Now here's something that does stop and make you think. Peace, faith, love, forgiveness, justice, hope, truth. Think on these things. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. There are many people out here who worship different gods. I'm sure the principle remains the same. But these are the words. Love your neighbour as yourself. That's really hard sometimes. But the world will be a much better place if that's what we all try and do. Please. Unfortunately, what I thought was some more wooden sculptures in the park weren't. Sorry, Andrew. But I'm so glad I found this. This is a place that does make you think. Funny that, but it does. And I think these words and on this plaque are in exactly the right place. If you don't go out looking, you don't find them. modern unit, class 195. That looks like an egret. Difficult to tell, but it's so white at the front. See if I can get it clearer. Not so easy, but there's a little group of ducks swimming away. They, I think, are great northern divers, but then I'm no expert. I'm sure somebody will tell me, but that's what I think they are. And certainly the calls coming from them would suggest, from what I've heard the divers call, that they might be. And there's that. I've lost him. He's out there somewhere. There he is. Yeah, I think that's an egret. Now, I spoke earlier about the architecture and design of the station being the Furness Railway. Of course, the Furness Railway wasn't the first one here. The first one here was the Ulverston and Lancaster Railway, as you can see from this plaque. The station was built in 1857. So the architecture is Lancaster and Ulverston Railway. Just to set the record straight. Like many stations, particularly in rural areas, Grange over Sands has its own support group that maintain flower gardens and that on the station. This is lovely, and you've got this lovely little sculpture here. What a nice thing to finish my video of Grange over Sands station. I'm really glad I got up this morning. Oh, lovely colours here. See, this part of the country, this time of year, if you don't take the opportunity on a morning like this, you may never get it again while you're here. I hope you've enjoyed this little segment. There's the entrance to the hotel, the Cumbria Grand. The Gatehouse Lodge. I'll tell you more about the Cumbria Grand a little later on when I've done some research. And that is where I'm going to walk now. Up a very narrow drive. Thank you, cars. They're also very kind round here, aren't they? And it's nearly time for breakfast. And just as one final shot before we leave, last year for the overnight, I was on the ground floor with a lovely view of a car parked outside my window. This year I got a little balcony, just like those. And it is a little balcony. But it proves I've gone up in the world. And now we're heading off to Lake Windermere, and that'll be the subject of the next programme in the series. So, bye for now.